Okay, so today I'm going to give you a little bit of training on the Sabre head and the mechanism and how the mechanism works. Um, so I've got this unit on the bench, as you can see. I've just got some spaces underneath, and I've got a little bar going through the middle so that I can, from the bottom, I can rotate it. Just to explain that the solenoids obviously are what lock the mechanism in place. So at the back here, if you put the key in, you can turn the key and lock it so that it becomes unlocked in that direction, or you can lock it so that it stays in its correct locked position. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is just explain the electronics in the head and how that works, how this unit works with and without the electronics. So the first thing to understand is that if you took the solenoid and you fed it through your biometric reader and you gave it power, the biometric reader would automatically time out after a certain period of time and release it back into the locked position. The downside to this is that should a person go through quickly, more than one person can go through at a time, and the turnstile won't limit it to one person at a time. The alternative is if somebody puts their finger on and doesn't go through immediately, they can push the turnstile and find that it's already locked because the time frame period is too short. So what we've designed in the head of the Sabre unit, there are two timers over here, timer relays, and one of each of the directions. So if I put a trigger onto here, that's what I put a trigger on to show you. I put a trigger on there. Now it's in the unlocked position to go in that direction. You'll see the timer, and you'll see it's busy counting down for a minute. You can change that period to whatever period you want. At the end of that minute, if somebody doesn't walk through the turnstile, it will automatically relock itself. The alternative is there's a trigger over here. This is it's a limit switch. So what happens here is that if I manually show you the direction it turns in, okay, so it'll turn like this. Once it hits that limit switch, it'll immediately lock again, and then when it gets back into its position, it will be locked. So that's how the limit switch works. The instructions of what to connect where are on the side of the unit over here. Very simple. You've got the power that supplies the power to the system. Then you've got the solenoids. They're sharing a common. And then there's one for in and one for out. Then you've got the limit switch, which is just wired directly to a normal open position. So as soon as this triggers, it will then trigger both of the timers so that they go back to their zero state. So you see on the time state. So if I trigger it again, just to show you, you can see the counting starts. If I do the other one, now you can see both of them are in the unlocked position, and you'll see both timers are on the countdown. So if I just wait now, you'll see the one will release and then the other one will at the end of that minute. The other thing to mention is that along the side of the turnstile where we run the cables, we've put cable ties on some of them on the older model, but we've left it open so that you can add additional wires depending on the direction that you're bringing your cables into the turnstile head, so that you can tie it down when you're happy that they're in the correct position. The only reason for the ties is to keep the cables away from the head mechanism itself and to add any other cables in. You'll find the newer models have got a piece of square trunking. You'll see there it's just already released that one, and there's the second one released. So now they're both back to the preset setting. So anyways, like I say, you'll find a trunking built in, steel trunking built into the newer models, so you don't have any cabling in the way, and you can feed your cables through that as well. And that's it. You'll see there's existing holes made up for where it mounts at the top of the turnstile, and it comes with a kit. That's the hole for the cables to go through, and it comes with a kit of raw bolts to be able to mount it down to the ground. and the client needs to supply their own lock to lock the mechanism, lock the lid on, and there's a serial number for every device that, or every turnstile that's sold, so that we can track. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember to subscribe and ring the bell if you want to get any other training from Sabre, and yeah, let us know if you need any support or help on this.